Good evening. This is Leslie Esoian, president of Wethersfield Community Television and host for the night. I've got a great guest on tonight, Steve Anderson. He is a parishioner of First Church of Christ in Old Wethersfield, and he's accompanied by his wife, who's sitting in the background and may speak here or there if we need her. And he's got a great program to talk about that's happening with group missions out of Colorado that's collaborating and co-sponsoring this event with the First Church of Christ. So let me introduce Steve to you. Steve Anderson, hello. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And tell us about this program that's happening.
We are so excited. We are going to have over 200 students teenagers come to Wethersfield in June, from June 26th to July 2nd, to help people in need with home renovations, and we're really excited about that.
That's wonderful. 200 students, and where are they going to be staying?
They'll be staying at Wethersfield High School, and
you mean staying overnight?
Over for the whole week, staying overnight.
Wow.
And eating at the high school.
Okay.
And
so the cafeteria will be open for them, and
yes, the services will be available.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And when these, you got to remember, the students are going to just finish school, high school, and then they're going to get in a van, travel hours and hours to get here, and then, I mean, it's almost like the worst nightmare. They're going to have to sleep at school.
Right, for a week.
But they usually only ask two questions. Is it air conditioned? And are there showers? So we're excited.
What does Wethersfield have?
We're good.
I'm sure, I know they have the showers. Do
Yep.
they have AC?
We're good.
Okay. So when you talk about these 200 students, where are they coming from?
They're coming from all over the East Coast. Well, even we've had some come as far away as Kansas.
Okay.
And South Carolina, but most of them are on the East Coast, Virginia north to Vermont and New York, Pennsylvania.
And what's the age group?
It's 14 and up.
14 and up, okay. So does it cap at a certain
18.
age? 18, okay. Well, so these kids must be somewhat like philanthropic and wanting to give back.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
And they come as just the teenagers, and they leave with carpentry skills or painting skills. And we just love to see the way they build relationships with the homeowners.
Right. Are they chaperoned while they're here?
Yeah, yes, they are. Every team has at least one adult in the crew.
Okay.
So what we do is typically there'll be maybe 4 or 5 teenagers that go out to an individual residence.
So there'll be like one crew?
One crew.
Okay.
And so we'll have dozens of crews, up to, we'll have about between 200 and 400 students.
So you could have up to 400 students still, and you have 200 right now?
Over 200.
Over 200.
The number goes up every week.
Okay, that's great. So let's talk about, so it's in collaboration with or co-sponsored by Group Missions of Colorado.
Yep.
And with First Church of Christ. Now, has Group Missions been doing this for a long time?
They've been doing it since 1990, and they've had over 500,000 participants over the years, teenagers
Impressive.
and adults.
Yep.
And First Church has been involved since 2001. So
21 years.
We have some adults that have gone every single year to do renovations.
Now, do you know if any of the students from Wethersfield High are part of this?
Our youth group is going to be doing a special project during this. So yes, there are
the youth
some.
group from First Church?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Okay, so let's talk about the program. Let's talk about what they're actually going to be doing.
This is the exciting part. What we'll be doing is we need homes to work on. So when we have the homes, the students may be building a handicap wheelchair ramp,
Okay.
or painting the inside of a house, or painting the outside of a house, or my favorite one is repairing rotted decks.
Okay.
We'll rip off a deck and build a new one. Those are typical projects.
So is it anything major like electrical or plumbing or?
Good question. I'm glad you asked that. We don't do any electrical, and we don't do any plumbing. We might do a little bit of repairs to a roof, but we don't do total roof repairs. Re-roof a whole house.
Okay. So it sounds like it's really mainly repairs, some light to medium carpentry. And so you've got all these teens who are coming on board, helping. They've got the chaperones in charge. I think you were telling me at one point who's wearing the red shirt so that you know is it the staff? Is it the students?
It's the staff,
Okay.
the volunteer adults that are working directly for group missions.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And they have the one of the red shirt title is site coach.
Site
and
coach, okay.
That site coach will have anywhere between 4 and 6 houses that they're responsible for, and they will go from house to house during the day to make sure the kids are cooperating, that they know they're learning the proper skills to do the repairs, and that the homeowner is happy, and that everything is according to plan.
So when we see red shirts around town, then we'll know what that is. But let's talk about the territory, because we were talking about that previously, and you were telling me that the territory isn't just Wethersfield.
Right. It's the whole Hartford area. We can work on houses anywhere in the central Connecticut area, but it's got to be within 30 minutes of Wethersfield High School.
Okay, so if it's within 30 minutes of Wethersfield High School, then they're eligible to apply with an application and
Yes.
and okay, good. So when we talk about the repairs, you were saying that it's for people who are in need of those repairs, that they can't either afford to do it themselves or maybe is disabled. Is that what's the criteria?
The criteria is pretty easy. First of all, they need to own the home.
Okay.
And then the second is if they need help. I mean, there's one of the applications I looked at today, the husband and wife are both veterans and they're both disabled. Okay. So they can't do basic homeowner repairs. Okay. So that's the kind of person we're looking for.
Right.
Or elderly people, let's say they don't have any children, or the adult children live on the other side of the country.
Right.
And they physically can't do the repairs. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for disabled or veterans, or elderly.
Elderly, okay. And so how do they apply? How do they get the application?
It's easy. If they go to the First Church of Christ in Wethersfield website, which is easy, it's just firstchurch.org. There'll be a banner that shows the work camp, and they can click on that and follow the links to get to the application.
Okay. So it's pretty smooth once you get on the main page?
Yeah, it's not that hard to do.
Okay.
Or they can call the church.
Yeah, let's tell them the number here.
Okay, feel free to call 860-529-1575, and then go to extension 121. So that's 860-529-1575, extension 121. And you can ask them to mail an application or email you an application, or you can stop by their church and pick up an application.
Any certain hours that they can stop by?
During normal business hours.
Yeah, well, they could call. They can call and find out, what hours to drop by. But so they've got several options here to pick up an application. So
there's one other place. They can go to the Wethersfield Social Service Department at Town Hall. They have applications as well.
Town Hall, and I think that may be 505 Silas Dean Highway. The Town Hall is right there where the library is. So what is the deadline? What is the deadline for applications?
We'd like to have the applications in by the middle of May.
The middle of May, okay, that's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner.
We have less than a month.
Yep, because we'll have to go and inspect the house, make a material list, and then put it in the system to make sure that we have the proper talent to do the jobs.
And how many participants are you looking for?
You mean how many
homeowners? Yeah.
We need 70 homes.
70 homes.
And we have about 35 as of today.
Halfway there?
Halfway there. So we're excited. We know there's a lot of people that can benefit from this. And did I mention that it's all free?
Oh, that's right. It's
There's-
absolutely all free.
There's
So
no charge.
no hidden costs, so they
No tax.
they won't get a bill
No bill.
later after you leave.
No.
So it's all free.
It's all free, and that's because of the fundraising and the generosity of so many people in the area. That we have a $40,000 goal to raise money to buy supplies and all the other things that we'll need along the way.
Right.
But we're not done. If anybody wants to continue the fundraising with us and don't make a donation, we would love to.
Right.
You can mail a check to First Church at 250 Main Street in Wethersfield, 06109, and we would really appreciate it, because there are a lot of times that things pop up that you don't expect.
Right.
For example, we were working on a deck one time, and the scope of work was to screw down the existing floorboards. That was it. The reason why the boards weren't screwed down properly because there was nothing underneath them.
Oh, no.
So we had to rip up the whole deck and start over. So that was an unexpected expense.
Right.
So that's where the money is going to go to.
That fundraising amount.
Yep.
And you have an indication of what the project is based on the application that's submitted.
Yes.
And then your team reviews it,
And
and
we'll
then
review
comes
it.
to a decision in
And
terms
we'll,
of their.
we'll go out to the house,
Okay.
assess it, make a material list, and then we have a computer program which decides all the different things that need to be done.
The estimate, the potential cost.
Yep.
Right, okay. So you have 35 applicants already, you're looking for 35 more.
Yes.
And also, you were saying that it's helpful if you get in-kind donations.
Yes.
So tell us more about that.
If there's any
the generous
businesses
small
in
businesses
town that want to help us with supplies, or we've had businesses in the past at other projects throughout the country, we'll just hire an ice cream truck. So when the kids come back at 3 o'clock, they're greeted with ice cream. Or, teenagers, a lot of times they forget to pack the essentials. So if somebody wants to donate shampoo and soap and any other
Toothpaste
thing,
okay.
or even snacks,
Snacks,
when they
okay.
get home, kids love candy.
Yeah, bottled water maybe?
Bottled water.
That's good.
Everything that a teenager usually wants. One thing they don't forget is their phone.
No, of course not, of course not. Well, that's important, they can reach their parents. So in-kind donations, would that all filter through the high school?
No,
Or would it go through First Church?
You could drop them off at First Church of Christ in Wethersfield, 250 Main Street.
That's the hub.
That's the hub. That's where the action is.
And,
Yes, do not contact Wethersfield High School regarding
Okay.
any of this.
okay,
They don't know that during the school year, they don't want to know anything about this.
okay, it's just all through First
Yep.
Church of Christ.
Yep.
And we're going to give the number again, 860-529-1575 for First Church, even if you have any questions. And then, so you were saying that it goes from June 26th to July 2nd. They're
Yes.
staying at the high school. I think you told me they're bringing sleeping bags and whatever else to
Yep.
be as comfortable as they can. I think you said they're staying in the classrooms?
The classrooms, yes.
Okay.
The janitorial staff empties the classrooms of the furniture,
Okay.
or they push off to the corner, and the students get pretty creative. They bring air mattresses or cots.
Oh, yeah, right? Who wants to sleep on cement?
All the comforts of home.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's really incredible. So it ends on July 2nd, which I believe is a Friday.
Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday. Okay, that's a Saturday. Now, you were saying that they have like a final farewell, almost like a
Yes.
gathering of everyone,
Yes.
a party in a sense?
On Friday night,
Oh, the day before they all leave?
right,
Okay.
when all the projects are done, we invite all the homeowners to the grand finale program at the high school.
Okay.
And it's usually in the gym. And if some of the homeowners want to get up and say a few words and thank their crews, they're welcome to do that.
Okay.
And we have singing and just a good time and refreshments.
Wonderful. So what kind of feedback do you get, one, from the homeowners, and then two, what do the kids say? I mean, especially for those that it's their first time. I mean, what's their experience like? Do they want to do it again? Do they feel like they fulfilled a purpose? Or tell us the feedback that you get.
All
on
of the
both sides.
above. They have the opportunity to do something called care cards. And everybody has an envelope on the wall. And the last day, they can put notes to the different people in the camp, usually all the other crew members or the adults.
Yeah.
So that's one way they do it. And a lot of times, once you're on a mission trip like this, you come back every year.
Yeah.
So they can do it for 5 years.
So you've seen that? Have you seen the same kids?
Yep, over and over again. Yep.
That's really
and
wonderful.
sometimes it's great that you go to a place this year, and then next year when you go to one, you see some of the same churches and the same kids. So it's like a big reunion.
Yeah. So how did Wethersfield High School or First Church get picked? Like, how does that process work?
Oh, we contacted Group Missions because we've known them for years, so we know all the key players.
Yeah.
And we said we're in the position now where we would like to bring this to the Hartford area.
Okay.
It's time.
Right.
And they said, okay, fill out this application and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
And so they selected us as one of the sites.
So that must have been a great day, a great celebration when you got the news.
Yes.
So you were at the church, or was it? How did you find out?
The pastor, they called our pastor and said it's a go.
Wow, that's great. So does the pastor talk about it a lot at Mass? And that's really wonderful.
Yes.
I think it's just so fantastic. These kids are really just giving back. Especially for such young people to think not away from themselves. Think about other people. That's really wonderful. Also, I remember you telling me too that you're looking for help with ladders.
Yes.
Not to donate or to keep, but just to borrow. So if there's any contractors out there or carpenters that can lend a ladder,
Or a
lend
homeowner.
some, or a homeowner, anybody, that would really be helpful.
You would never think that would be an issue. But think about it. When you have 70 houses to work on, a lot of times they involve painting or carpentry.
Yeah.
And we don't have ladders. People usually don't bring ladders when they're coming from Kansas.
Right, exactly.
So we have a team that all they're going to do is keep track of the ladders and move them from house to house as needed. So we need ladders. So if there's anybody in town that wants to donate a ladder for a week, and even if they want to donate their time to the ladder committee and help move the ladders from house to house, that would be
That's helpful too.
That would be an amazing thing.
First Church, 860-529-1575, extension 121. I forgot to mention that last time.
And all that is on the website, firstchurch.org.
And so let's talk about the homeowners. So what's the feedback that you hear from them? Are they there when you're doing the work?
Most of the time, yes, they are there. Sometimes they will just sit and watch.
Yeah.
Other times they jump right in and they pick up a hammer and help.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have to work, so they're not there.
Okay.
But we love to build the relationships. And a lot of times they will wind up having lunch with the teenagers, or they will cook them a nice meal, have them stay for dinner.
Really? I'd love to hear that.
So it's a growth for all of them.
Right. That's really wonderful.
Well, it's all about relationships.
Yeah, it is about relationships. And the kids, their day starts at 9 a.m.? Is it usually 9? No, earlier?
No, they're usually up around 6:30.
Oh, okay. Wow, that early.
And then they have to, if they want to shower, they can.
Okay.
If they want breakfast, there's breakfast served.
Okay.
And then we do have a program in the mornings. It's a Christian-based program.
Okay.
And then that usually is not very long, and by 9 o'clock, they are off.
Okay,
You know,
and then, so they're out until 3, 9 to 3 every day.
Yes.
So that whole week, and then that Friday night is the celebratory farewell.
And around 3 o'clock, they wind up back at the high school, and they can just goof off for the afternoon, and
Yeah.
you know, they play games, or they go out and play softball, or they just sit and read, or
You got the fields there.
or
They have
some-
access to the fields, to
Yep.
the track, and go running, or the tennis there, and
One of the ones we were involved with, they had a Frisbee tournament.
oh yeah, fun.
And then some of the students just go back and nap for 3 hours before dinner.
Yeah. Now tell me about that story, the detective. I remember you telling me this before we came on air. The detective.
Yes.
That.
We
Yeah.
we worked with a retired homicide detective who was injured on the job, and he was a quadriplegic. The only part of his body that worked was his right hand, and he could use the motorized wheelchair. But he needed 24-hour nursing care.
So clearly he couldn't do any home renovations or repairs himself.
No. And he tried to get his nurses to do it, and that didn't go well. So we brought in a crew of 5 teenagers and an adult, and they painted 7 rooms and 7 ceilings in 5 days.
Incredible.
And the last 2 days, the adult cried uncle and said, we need more people. So Group Mission said, you got it. We have a team that just finished the job. So
great.
they sent 5 more teenagers over. And the best part of the story is the homeowner, at lunchtime, he would start talking with the kids. He'd have lunch with everybody, and he started telling them stories about some of the cases that he solved. And he tried
So
to
his career highlights.
he tried to he gave the students the facts and said, okay, how did I solve this case?
Right.
And one of the students almost got it right. He said, nobody's ever figured it out. You're the closest anybody's got. So the teenagers are like, they were so excited
Yeah.
to try to figure out all these crimes. And so that was part of this whole thing,
Yeah.
is that the homeowner was now having a relationship
With the
because he had
kids.
nobody.
Yeah.
And so another
And he
part
was
of
able to reminisce about his former life as a detective.
Yeah, and he really hadn't been out of the house because the doctor says there's really nothing we can do for you. And by the middle of the week, he was using his wheelchair to go outside with the kids and
Yeah.
chat and give them a hard time.
Yep.
And he was a Boston Red Sox fan, and he lives in upstate New York, so that's Yankee country.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of, the kids loved it. They
Yeah.
loved hearing his stories.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing wrong with his brain.
Right.
And so the nurses couldn't believe that he was outside because he never goes outside. So there again, it's all about relationships.
Yeah. Lifted his spirits.
And-
Got him outside.
And these kids had never seen a quadriplegic before.
Yeah.
So they were a little apprehensive.
Yeah.
But it was an amazing time.
But he obviously made them feel comfortable enough, and so that they were
Yep.
able to engage and maybe at the end of it become friends.
Yes.
See, there's another experience from it all, and giving back.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk more about how to reach First Church and get an application. We will have some applications here at Wethersfield Community Television, 30 Greenfield Street, which is also the senior center. So if there's any seniors that want to apply or know someone, we're going to have some applications here. Yeah, hold that up, Steve. So it's just one page.
One page.
We'll have some here. And
Contact information, how far you are from the high school, and there's a couple suggestions about what kind of renovations that
Right.
could be done.
And then the applications are at First Church, which is, did you say 250 Main Street?
Yes.
In Old Wethersfield. And then at the Town Hall, 505 Silas Dean Highway. So 3 places they can get an application, plus online, firstchurch.org. And their phone number is 860-529-1414. 1575, extension 121. Steve, do you have any other stories you want to share with us?
We do need volunteers. There's a
Okay.
lot of moving parts, so there'll be plenty of opportunities. We'll need construction advisors, but there's a lot of things that there's no experience required. All you need to do is contact the church if you want to volunteer some time, and just call them and say, here I am, I'm ready to work.
So would they be working in the same capacity as the students?
No, they won't be on the field.
Oh, they won't be on the
No,
field, okay.
It'd be like, maybe, we may need people to like go out and sometimes we'll deliver popsicles to the kids.
Okay.
Or go take pictures.
Okay.
Sometimes they might need help at the school with cleanup.
Okay.
We are putting together a trash committee that will
Okay.
go out to all the job sites every day and pick up trash.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different things. We'll need office help
Okay.
just to do paperwork.
So when they call First Church, they'll have an indication of like what day they can come and for how long? Okay, so it's finite, so it's not like they would come at 9 and then leave at 3.
Right.
Okay, so it'd be a specific amount of time.
We're flexible.
Yeah, okay.
So that's good. Just say, here I am.
Okay.
I'm ready to work.
Firstchurch.org, phone number 860-529-1575, extension 121. I want to thank you, Steve and Gretchen.
You got time for one more story?
Yes, absolutely. Tell us another story. Yeah, we want to hear it.
There's another one that I was involved with. Actually, I've been involved with 13 of these, both as a site coach and an adult leader. And there was one that I was a site coach for in Rochester, New York. A beautiful big old house. It was Wilma and her husband. They were both in their mid to late 80s, and their front porch was a mess. So
Like dilapidated, where you couldn't even walk on it?
You couldn't. They had to secure the front door so they didn't accidentally go out front because they would have fallen through.
Okay.
So the crew, the first
Dangerous.
day, they ripped it apart. Second day, they measured all the wood and made sure they had the right supplies, and by Thursday afternoon, it was done. So now Wilma and her husband can sit on the front porch and watch their neighbors, and
I'm sure they were so thankful.
and that's the kind of stuff these kids wind up doing.
Right. And
So-
that's the time that they give, and giving back to local communities, and they're from out of state, so that even says a lot about their character, their person, and how they were raised, that they really want to give back and help their neighbor, help the person next door. So that's really wonderful. So let's just, we're going to wrap up, but we're going to just mention again how they already have 35 houses, looking for a total of 70. So they need more houses, so please apply. Applications are here at the Community Television, Town Hall, First Church. And it runs from June 26th to July 2nd. So if you see any red shirts in town and they're doing work, you know what that is. Group missions out of Colorado in co-sponsorship with the First Church of Christ. So this is wonderful.
Now, one more thing.
Yeah.
When all the teenagers are here in town, would you like us to stop by and say hi, and you can chat with a few of them?
We'd love to, yeah. We'd love to even do, maybe a 10, 15-minute show with them, and they can talk about their experience. That would be wonderful. So we'll talk more about that offline,
Perfect.
and definitely, that would be wonderful. So thanks again, Steve. Appreciate you coming on. Best of luck
thank you.
with this
Thank you.
program, and I'm sure it's going to really be wonderful.
Thank you for having me, and we're looking forward to it.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.